Hi, I'm Regan Garrett, and for the next 5 minutes, I will be painting while talking to you about Woodstock, explaining what it was, where it was, and the significance it has on our history. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Woodstock was a music festival that happened August 15th through the 18th of 1969 at a farm in Bethel, New York. This iconic hippie festival was known as 3 Days of Peace and Music. The event was synonymous with the counterculture movements of the 1960s. Woodstock was considered to be a huge success, but did not come easy. There were last-minute venue changes, bad weather, and an overcrowding of people. Yet despite all the sex, drugs, rock and roll, and rain, Woodstock was considered to be a very peaceful time in history. The festival goes by a couple of different names: Bethel Rock Festival, the Aquarian Music Festival, and Woodstock, which came from a small town of Woodstock, New York, where there is a community of artists and musicians who live there. The music kicked off just after 5 p.m. on Friday evening with singer-songwriter Richie Havens, while the Grateful Dead, Creedence Clearwater Revival, Janis Joplin, The Who, and Jefferson Airplane performed on Saturday. Sunday started with a memorial performance by Joe Cocker, which included his cover of With a Little Help from My Friends, and after several hours of rain, the band Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young played before Jimi Hendrix, who wrapped up around 9 a.m. on Monday morning. Woodstock was not a peaceful time for everyone, though. The first person to die at Woodstock was a 17-year-old Raymond Minsack from New Jersey. He was ran over by a tractor while asleep in his sleeping bag. The tractor was collecting debris and said that he was unable to see Minsack due to the darkness and tall grass. The second person to die was 18-year-old Richard Bleeber of a drug overdose. It is important to remember, though, that while only 2 people died at Woodstock, many others were injured or became ill due to extreme conditions and large crowds. The festival was originally planned for a maximum of 50,000 people, but was estimated that over 400,000 people showed up, causing a logistical nightmare for the organizers. The reason for the overcrowding at Woodstock is complex. One factor is the sheer popularity of the event. The festival was heavily promoted on radio stations and other outlets and quickly became a cultural phenomenon. Many people saw Woodstock as a symbol of counterculture movement and a chance to participate in something historic. Another factor that contributed to the overcrowding was the lack of security and crowd control measures. The festival was held on a 600-acre dairy farm in upstate New York, and the organizers did not have the resources or personnel to keep such a large crowd under control. The fences that were put up to keep people out were quickly overran, and the festival became a free-for-all. The weather also played a role in the overcrowding. Heavy rain before and during the festival made the festival very muddy, making it difficult for people to move around and find dry places to sleep. Many people who planned to leave the festival early were unable to do so because of the poor conditions. At the festival, hippies were seen selling acid for $1. The main stage became a death trap. There were food and water shortages, and there were about 600 people for every one toilet. Now I'm going to tell you some random facts about Woodstock. Number 1. Jimi Hendrix was Woodstock's highest paid performer, earning $18,000, which was a lot of money for the time. Number 2. Despite the concerns for the festival, there was actually no reports of violence that came out of it. Number 3. There's tons of rumors out there that there were babies born at Woodstock, and as much as I wish that it was true, it is yet to be proven. Number 4. The couple on Woodstock's album cover, Nikki and Bobby Crowley, are actually still together to this day. And number 5. There's actually a picture of a couple who brought their pet monkey to Woodstock. So, Woodstock 1969 was a pivotal moment in music history, where people came together for 3 days of peace, love, and music. It was a celebration of counterculture and a statement of unity, where artists like Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, and The Who delivered iconic performances that define a generation. Woodstock was a defining moment in history of rock and roll, and its legacy continues to inspire people to this day.